Alright. It is time now for my second game of Jeopardy for the Wii U. I had a pretty successful first time out on this, winning a total of $18,000 in game number 1. Let's see if I do better in game 2. This is Jeopardy!
Please welcome our
Let's admit, this is catchy music.
Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now.
See if I can add it to my 18 grand. Here we go. Jeopardy round.
Clues are
Round
worth
with the one daily double.
$200,000
And we've got these categories today.
Utopia.
Utopia. You quotation marks.
Biblical abominations.
Biblical abominations.
How about
a little romance language?
How's the weather?
How's the weather?
College team
College
nicknames.
team nicknames and
American history.
American history.
Where do we begin, Player 1?
Nicknames 200.
UC Berkeley's teams are known as the Golden These. It's Player 1.
What are the Bears?
Yes.
400.
Pepperdine's nickname is this, and some lap not too far away from the campus. Player 1?
What is the Waves?
Yep.
College team nicknames for
Player
600,
1.
please.
This word describing Penn State's Lions comes from an Algonquian term meaning single mountain. Okay, Player 1?
What is Nittany?
Yep.
800.
Player 1. This University of Idaho nickname is from an old Germanic tribe whose name has come to mean troublemakers. It's Player 1.
What is Vandals?
Right.
Yes. Now let's finish the category.
We return. The University of Texas at Arlington uses this nickname, shared by the NBA team closest to them. Okay, Player
And
1.
the one closest to them is Dallas. So what is the Mavericks?
That is correct.
Alright, how's the weather
again,
for
Player
200?
September 4th, 2007 was the first time that two of these, Henriette and Felix, made landfall on the same day. Yes, Player 1?
What are hurricanes?
That's it.
Yes. Alright, 400.
Player 1. Mountain passes speed up hot, dry air, giving this U.S. state its Santa Ana winds. It's Player 1.
What is California?
That's right. Way to go.
600, please.
Selecting. The forecast is cloudy with a 30% chance of these, characterized by the sudden start and stop of light rainfall. Yes, Player 1?
What are showers?
Right.
There we go. Weather for 800?
You again. High clouds may bring this type of damaging precipitation, especially to the alley for it in the Rockies.
Player 2.
Let's hear it, Player 2.
What is hail? Yes.
Player 2, where do we start?
Romance language 200.
Around the Vatican, you might be able to practice this source language of all Romance languages. Yes, Player 1?
What is Latin?
That's right, way to go.
How's the weather for 1000?
Player 1, where longer autumn nights let the ground cool, producing condensation, and the ground type of this. Here's the response we were looking for. Fog.
Fog.
Player 1, choose again.
Utopia 200.
Olympic competition in 1900 included this type of swimming, judged on distance and time submerged. It's player 1.
What is underwater?
You got it.
Utopia for 400.
Player 1. The Salgir, the Chernaya, the Alma, and the Dnieper are all rivers that flow through this country. Here's the correct response. Ukraine.
Ukraine. Utopia for 6.
Player 1. It's the quality of being useful, or the useful knife used to cut drywall. Let's hear it, player 1.
What is utility?
Right.
Yes. Utopia for 800, please.
Player 1. An adjective meaning of an elevated region, or the main type of cotton grown in the American South. Here's the correct response. Upland.
Alright, how about biblical abominations? 200.
Leviticus chapter 11 says, most insects that creep or fly are an abomination, but this 8th plague is kosher. It's player 1.
Or locusts?
Yes.
Biblical abominations for
Player
4.
1. Leviticus chapter 11 verse 13 declares that this bird of prey, later a symbol of Roman legions, is an abomination.
Player 3.
Let's hear it, player 3.
What is the hawk?
Aww.
No, that's incorrect.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response?
Player
Player
2.
2.
What is the eagle?
And you're right.
That is right.
Player
You
2,
select
make a selection, please.
American
as we
history for
continue.
200.
This famous transaction in 1803 doubled the territory of the U.S. Player 1?
What is the Louisiana Purchase?
That is correct.
Same category for
Player
4?
1. In the 1760s, he and Charles Mason used milestones to mark the boundary line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. It's player 1.
Who's Jeremiah Dixon? Yes. Mason-Dixon line. Same category,
You
600.
get the Watergate scandal led to the resignation of this U.S. president in 1974. Okay,
I
player
believe
1.
that president was Richard Nixon. Who is Richard Nixon?
You got it.
Yes. 800.
In the 1830s, some 4,000 members of this Indian tribe died during a forced march known as the Trail of Tears.
Player
Let's
3.
hear it, player 3.
The Cherokee tribe. Yes. And you're now out of the hole.
Player 3. You're in command of the
American
board.
history for
Continue.
1,000.
Reconstruction refers to the period of readjustment and rebuilding after this war. Here's the response we were looking for. The Civil War.
The Civil War.
We return to you, player 3.
Utopia for 1,000.
The match is coming before the main boxing match. Okay, player 1.
What is the undercard?
Right.
7,600.
Player 1, start us.
Biblical abominations for 6.
Potpourri is not mentioned, but this burning perfume is an abomination according to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 13.
Player 3.
Yes, player 3.
What is sandalwood? No, that's wrong. You're back in the hole.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about incense.
Incense.
Please pick
Biblical
again,
Abominations
player
800. The answer there is the Daily Double, the only one for this round.
The Daily Double. And you have the lead. What are you going to wait?
1400. Alright, here's the clue.
Here's your clue. Leviticus chapter 11 verse 10 says, "All that have not fins and these in the seas shall be an abomination."
What are scales?
Congratulations,
Yes.
you're still in first, player one.
9,000. Biblical Abominations 1,000.
In Genesis chapter 46 verse 34, "Every shepherd is an abomination unto this kingdom that was known as Kemet." Here's what we were looking for. Egypt.
Egypt was what we needed.
Please pick again.
Romance language for 400.
Of Catalan, Bulgarian, or Romanian, the one that is not a Romance language.
Player free.
It's player 3.
What is Catalan?
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response.
It
Bulgarian.
was Bulgarian.
Player 1. Pick again. It's the most widely spoken Romance language in the world.
Player 3.
It's player 3.
What is Spanish?
That's correct.
Yes, you're right.
Out of the hole.
2 clues left.
Player 3, you start. Ligurian, Lombard, and Piedmontese are all dialects of this Romance language. Here's what we were looking for. Italian.
Italian was what we needed.
Let's
Alright,
have a
and
look
now
at
our
the thousand.
final clue.
This extinct Romance language of Croatia shares its name with a dog breed.
Player 2.
Okay, player 2.
What is Dalmatian?
Right you are.
You are right. You finished this round 2200. Player 3's in third place with 0, so she'll go first in Double Jeopardy.
As we always do, right after this break.
And I have the lead right now with 9,000. Alright, let's take a look at our categories for the Double Jeopardy round. 2 daily doubles in here.
Classic kids
Classic
lit.
Kids Lit.
The meaning
The
of the
meaning
prefix.
of the prefix.
U.S.
City History.
The comics.
The comics.
This side.
Of Parasites. And finally, Countries by Newspaper.
Hey, it's still anyone's game.
We're starting with this side of
You get to
Parasites
select
4.
When a tiny parasite enters an oyster's shell, mantle cells cover it with nacre until this is formed. Let's hear it, player 1.
What is Pearl? Yes. Okay, Countries by Newspaper for
Player 1.
400.
The Sydney Morning Herald, the Queensland Independent.
What is Australia?
It's player 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Countries by Newspaper
Select
800.
The Shizuoka Shimbun, the Nikan Ubejiho. Player 1.
What is Japan?
You got it.
Got it. Same category for 12.
Player 1. Avanti, Il Messaggero.
What is Italy?
It's player 1. Right.
1600.
Player 1.
The answer there is a daily double.
Excellent. The first of the 2 daily doubles. You are in first place.
Let's make this a true daily double.
Answer. Haaretz Ma'ariv.
What is Israel?
Congratulations.
Yes.
You're still in first, player 1.
23,600.
Again. Jelens Posten, Politiken. Player 1.
What is Denmark?
Good for you.
Ran through that category and I have $25,600. Comics for 4.
This Peanuts character got a sister named Sally in 1959.
Good grief. Who is Charlie
It's
Brown?
player 1. Good for you. Player
800.
one. Weirdo would be another name for this Dan Ferraro comic that began as a replacement for The Far Side. Let's hear it, Player 1.
It is Bizarro. A comic I've never even heard of. Comics for
You get to-
$1,200.
Mr. Munster wasn't the subject of this 1975 to 1992 Jim Unger strip. Player
Player
3.
3. What is Herman?
Good.
Yes.
Okay, let's get back into this.
Comics
Player
for
three, you make the
$1,600.
next selection. In Bob Fave's comic, Frank bums around with this guy. Yes, player 2.
Who is Dilbert?
Sorry, that's
No, that's wrong. You're down to 600, player 2.
Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 3.
Who's Ernest?
Yes.
Yes. Go for 2,800. You
Please
select.
pick again, player 3.
No, Classic Kids Live for 4.
This story begins, all children except one grow up. Okay, player 1.
What is Peter Pan?
Good.
And since Peter Pan's the correct response,
Player 1.
I'll take
You're
Peter
in command
Pan
of the
for
board as we
800.
continue right now.
well, actually, no. Peter Pan's not a category. Classic Kids Live for 8.
In a novel by Frances Hodgson Burnett, 7-year-old Cedric Errol inherits a title and is known as Little Lord This.
What is
Player
Fauntleroy?
1. Right you are.
Yep. It's 28,000.
Player 1.
1200.
This classic is the first book in Madeleine L'Engle's Time Quartet. Yes, player 1.
What is A Wrinkle in Time?
Good.
Classic Kids Live for 1,600, please.
Player 1 completes the title of a classic about an African-American family. Roll of Thunder.
What is Hear My
It's
Cry?
Player 1. Good.
Let's finish the category.
Player 1. The Black Pearl and Island of the Blue Dolphins are two classics by him. Yes, player 1.
Who is Scott Odell?
That's it.
$32,800.
Player 1. Back to
Comics
you.
2000.
This edgy Aaron Magruder comic strip debuted in 1996.
And I'm doing extremely well this game.
Here's the response we were looking for. The Boondocks.
The Boondocks.
Select again.
Parasites 800.
This plant grows as a parasite on apple tree trunks, blooms in February and March, yet still is a factor in Christmas kisses. Player 1.
What is Mistletoe?
That's it.
Parasites for 1,200.
Select PSI is a charity delivering nets to fight this parasite-caused disease that kills 3,000 African children a day. Player 1.
What is cholera?
Sorry,
That's the first one I've gotten wrong all
Anyone else
game.
care to try to come up with a correct response?
But I still have a huge lead. So I'm not too worried.
The correct response is malaria.
It's malaria. Parasites for 16.
Select it. You can vent this soft ductless organ that fights infection with parasite detection. It's player 2.
What is liver?
No,
Wrong.
that's not right.
Player 2
Any
is in
other
the hole.
takers?
Player 3.
The
Nope.
correct response is the spleen.
It's the spleen.
Player 1. Back to closely
Such
related to
heavy.
meningitis. This inflammation of the brain can result from viral infections or tiny parasites. Here's the response we were looking for. Encephalitis.
Encephalitis. 2 categories are left.
Player 1, back
US
to you
City
for our next
Yeah,
selection.
USC History 4.
This Missouri city wasn't named for Scott or Janice, but for the Reverend Harris G., an early settler there. Player 1?
Which is Carpenter.
Sorry, that's
Wrong.
wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response?
Still have a huge lead, though.
Here's what we wanted. Joplin.
Joplin.
Player 1.
Prefix
you pick again.
400.
Hemi. Player 2.
Which is Big.
No.
No.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Half.
Half. Okay.
Player 1.
You see history
choose again.
for
2 months before the Declaration of Independence, the Rhode Island Independence Act was signed in this city. Yes, player
Which is
1.
Providence.
That's correct.
There we go. USC History for 1200.
Player 1.
The answer there is the other Daily Double.
Answer. The second daily double. And you're in the lead now.
2200.
All right, here's your clue. It was Arizona's territorial capital from 1867 to 1877. And a university was founded there in 1885.
Which is Tucson.
That puts you even
Got it.
further ahead.
And it's $35,000.
Again, player
USC
one.
History for 16.
Indianapolis was laid out in a wheel pattern inspired by this other major city some 500 miles away. Let's hear it, player 3.
Which is New York City.
Sorry.
No.
Anyone else? Here's the response we were looking for. Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. was what we needed.
Player 1. All right, here with the clue is Jimmy.
It was uninhabited when it was chosen as a territorial capital in 1836 and named for a president who died that year.
Player
Okay,
2
player 2.
is Jefferson City.
Sorry.
No, that's wrong. You're down to minus 3,400.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we wanted. Madison.
Madison.
Please pick
Prefix
again. Player
2000.
one. Circum. Here's what we were looking for. Around. You again, player 1.
1600.
Anti.
Round was the correct response to that last one.
Here's the response we were looking for. Before. Please, contra.
I really have to ring in on these.
Okay,
Player two?
player 2.
What is Faru? No, wrong. And she's not going to be around for Final Jeopardy either
Any
way.
other takers?
She's at minus 4,600. She's definitely not going to be around
Yes,
for Final
player
Jeopardy. Player 3 says what is against. That is right. So player 3 will be around
And
for
we'll
Final
go
Jeopardy.
forward with
One clue
this
left.
Die, as in dicephalus. We're talking about 2.
2. Alright. Me at 35,000. Player 3, 2,400. Player 2, minus
Only 2 of you
4,600. So
will be
player
going
2
on to Final
will
Jeopardy.
not be
Sorry,
participating
player
in
two.
Final Jeopardy.
Time to
And our
get
categories for Final
And today's
Jeopardy
category
is
this. Landmarks.
it's landmarks.
What are you going to wait?
Okay, how about I'm gonna go for $15,000.
Let's take a look.
Alright,
at
our final Jeopardy
right
clue
now.
is...
The landmark site known to the Lakota as Six Grandfathers was renamed this after a prominent lawyer.
What is Mount Rushmore? Player free, let's start with you. You had 2,400 coming into Final Jeopardy. You said Mount Rushmore, and you are correct. And you are going to double your 2,400 to 4,800. And I said Mount Rushmore, so we know that I'm correct. And I had $15,000. So a nice big win with $50,000 and a 2-day total of $68,000. So, good game, good game. We'll see you next time on Jeopardy.